The war in Ukraine rages on, with no clear end in sight. As the world marks another grim milestone in this devastating conflict, both the battlefield and the diplomatic stage are seeing dramatic new developments. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has delivered a sobering message. Hopes for a swift resolution are fading, and the fighting is likely to continue for the foreseeable future. This warning comes as frantic diplomatic efforts intensify, and as Ukraine and the United States sign a historic agreement on mineral resources. It's an economic lifeline for Kyiv and a strategic move to counter Russian influence, in a move that has drawn both skepticism and cautious optimism. Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a 72-hour ceasefire, set to begin on May 8th. The Kremlin says this pause in hostilities is to honor the 80th anniversary of the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. Putin is expected to host world leaders, including China's President Xi Jinping, for grand commemorations in Moscow. But Ukraine's response has been swift and critical. Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha declared that if Russia truly wants peace, it should halt its attacks immediately, not wait for a symbolic date. A real ceasefire isn't just for show, he posted on social media. Echoing the frustration felt by many in Kyiv, Ukrainian officials accuse Moscow of using these temporary truces to regroup and strengthen its positions, rather than to genuinely seek peace. The situation on the ground remains tense and unpredictable. Russian forces are pushing to establish a so-called security buffer in Ukraine's Sumy region, claiming to have driven Ukrainian troops from neighboring areas. Drone strikes, artillery duels, and fierce fighting continue to devastate communities, with civilians bearing the brunt of the violence. Reports of massive drone attacks on Crimea and ongoing clashes in the east underscore the relentless nature of this war. Amid the chaos, the newly signed U.S.-Ukraine minerals deal is being hailed as a potential game-changer. The agreement is designed to unlock Ukraine's vast reserves of critical minerals, providing much-needed revenue and strengthening the country's economic resilience. The White House has framed the deal as a way to reinforce Ukraine's position in future negotiations, while also ensuring that the West, not Russia, benefits from these valuable resources. But the diplomatic landscape remains fraught with challenges. The Kremlin insists it is open to peace talks without preconditions, but demands that Ukraine take the first step. Kyiv, however, is bound by a 2022 decree that bans negotiations with Putin. Following Russia's illegal annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions, President Zelensky has repeatedly stated that Ukraine is ready for talks once the fighting stops and Russian troops withdraw. Internationally, the conflict is reshaping alliances and defense strategies. European nations are ramping up military spending and deepening security ties, with France and Poland set to sign a new defense treaty and the UK unveiling advanced drone technology to counter Russian aggression. Sanctions on Russia continue to mount, with the country's economy showing signs of strain, rising inflation, a weakening ruble, and slowing growth. Yet Moscow remains defiant, insisting that sanctions will not dictate its actions. The human cost of the war is staggering. Millions have been displaced, cities lie in ruins, and the death toll climbs daily. As the world watches, the question remains: will the upcoming ceasefire offer a genuine chance for peace, or is it merely a pause before the next round of violence? As we await the next chapter in this unfolding crisis, one thing is clear: the fate of Ukraine and the stability of Europe hangs in the balance. Stay with us for continuing coverage. And don't forget to share this report to keep the world's attention on the people who need it most. If you believe in the power of information and the importance of peace, share this video, subscribe for updates, and let your voice be heard. The world is watching, and together we can make a difference.